The real estate license examinations. The law requires that the Department of Real Estate ascertain, by written examination, the competency of a prospective real estate licensee. DRE cannot waive this examination requirement. This chapter discusses the examination process in general, details the scope of the examinations, and includes practice questions. A pamphlet titled Instructions to License Applicants provides detailed information about examination and licensing procedures. Interested persons may obtain this pamphlet and an application to take an examination by calling or writing any DRE office. Important note, the salesperson and broker examination format has changed since the reference book was published in 2010. Beginning January 1, 2024, all applicants for the real estate salesperson or broker examination will need to complete a revised statutory course in real estate practice. The revised course must contain the following content: a component on implicit bias, including education regarding the impact of implicit bias, explicit bias, and systemic bias on consumers, the historical and social impacts of those biases, and actionable steps students can take to recognize and address their own implicit biases. A component on federal and state fair housing laws as those laws apply to the practice of real estate. The fair housing component shall include an interactive participatory component, during which the applicant shall role-play as both a consumer and real estate professional. Additional information, forms, publications, and other items of interest to examinees, license applicants, and licensees is available on the Department of Real Estate website www.DRE.CA.GOV under Examinees and Licensees. Scope of examination. Business and Professions Code Section 10153 requires that the real estate examinations test for the following: knowledge of the English language, including reading, writing, and spelling, and of arithmetical computations used in real estate and business opportunity practices. Understanding of the principles of real estate and business opportunity conveyancing, the general purposes and general legal effect of agency contracts, deposit receipts, deeds, mortgages, deeds of trust, chattel mortgages, bills of sale, land contracts of sale and leases, and of the principles of business and land economics and appraisals, and understanding of the obligations between principal and agent, of the principles of real estate and business opportunity practice, and the canons of business ethics pertaining thereto, and of the real estate law, the subdivided lands law, and the commissioner's regulations. Preparing for an exam. Unless a prospective licensee has had experience with the various types of real estate transactions and has thorough knowledge of real estate fundamentals, including the obligations of an agent and the laws and regulations governing an agent's activities, it is suggested that serious study be undertaken prior to taking the examination. Even persons well-versed in these areas will find a review extremely valuable. This book and DRE's Real Estate Law book are useful study tools. In addition, public libraries and bookstores have textbooks on California real estate law, practice, finance, economics, and appraisal. Real estate courses are available at colleges and private vocational schools. Exam construction. DRE's testing program follows guidelines set by the State Personnel Board and other test authorities. Periodically, DRE uses research studies to update the test specifications. Because there are differences in the level and amount of knowledge required of salespersons and brokers, the exams differ in their emphasis and difficulty. Examination weighting. DRE attempts to place proper emphasis on the content areas of the examinations. The exact weighting for each subject area contained in the real estate broker and real estate salesperson license examination is included in the current edition of DRE's pamphlet Instructions to License Applicants. This publication is also available online at the DRE website at www.DRE.CA.GOV. Real estate salesperson and real estate broker licensing examination outline. Area 1: Property ownership and land use controls and regulations. Classes of property characteristics, encumbrances. Types of ownership, descriptions of property, government rights in land, public controls. Environmental hazards and regulations, private controls. Water rights. Special categories of land. Area 2: Laws of agency. Law, definition and nature of agency relationships, types of agencies and agents. Creation of agency and agency agreements, responsibilities of agent to seller, buyer as principal, disclosure of agency. Disclosure of acting as principal or other interest, termination of agency. Commission and fees. Area 3: Valuation and market analysis. Value. Methods of estimating value. Area 4 Financing General Concepts Types of Loans Sources of Financing. How to deal with lenders, government programs, mortgages, deeds of trust, notes financing, credit laws, loan brokerage. Area 5 Laws of Agency, title insurance deeds, escrow reports, tax aspects, special processes. Area 6 Practice of real estate and mandated disclosures, trust account management, fair housing laws, truth in advertising, record-keeping requirements, agency supervision, permitted activities of unlicensed sales assistants, DRE jurisdiction, and disciplinary actions, licensing and continuing education requirements and procedures, California Real Estate Recovery Fund. General ethics, technology, property management, landlord-tenant rights, commercial, industrial, income properties, specialty areas, transfer disclosure statement, natural hazard disclosure statements, material facts affecting property value, need for inspection and obtaining, verifying information. Area 7 Contracts, general, listing agreements, buyer, broker agreements, offers, purchase contracts, counteroffers, multiple counteroffers, leases, agreements, promissory notes, securities, exam rules, exam subversion. The typical rules for examinations apply. Conversation is not permitted. The use of cell phones, PDAs, notes or references to texts are strictly forbidden. Dishonest practice of any kind will result in a non-passing grade and may be grounds for denying future examinations. DRE may deny, suspend, revoke or restrict the license of an applicant or licensee who subverts or attempts to subvert a licensing examination. Conduct which constitutes subversion includes but is not limited to the following. 1. Removing exam material from a test site. 2. Reproducing exam material without authorization. 3. Using paid examinees for the purpose of reconstructing an examination. 4. Using improperly obtained test questions to prepare persons for examination. 5. Selling, distributing, or buying exam material. 6. Cheating during an exam. 7. Possessing unauthorized equipment or information during an examination. 8. Impersonating an examinee or having an impersonator take an examination. Materials. Only the examination booklet, the answer sheet, a special pencil, and silent, battery-operated, pocket-size, electronic calculator without a printout capability or an alphabetic keyboard are allowed on an examinee's desk, along with a single page of scratch paper which DRE will supply, and which must be turned in with the answer sheet and examination booklet. Question construction. Test items are phrased so that they measure the applicant's knowledge without making him or her wonder about their meaning. The questions must not be too difficult, too easy, unimportant, or inappropriate for any reason. No question is meant to be a trick or catch question. Words are used according to their commonly accepted meanings. Multiple choice exam. All test items in the real estate exams are multiple choice. While the examinee may feel that more than one answer has some element of correctness, the examinee must be able to eliminate the incorrect responses and choose the correct answer. Q&A analysis. The following analyses illustrate the proper approach to exam questions. Question. Under no circumstances may a broker A. receive a commission from both buyer and seller. B. Appoint a subagent. C. Misrepresent material facts. D. Sell the principal's property to a relative. Analysis. A. Is incorrect. A broker may receive a commission from both parties provided both buyer and seller have knowledge of the arrangement. B. Is incorrect. A broker may get prior consent from the principal to appoint other brokers as subagents to cooperate in selling the property. C. Is correct. A material misrepresentation is a violation of law. D. Is incorrect. A broker may sell to any purchaser provided the principal has full knowledge. Question. A valid bill of sale must contain A. A date. B. An acknowledgement. C. The seller's signature. D. A verification. Analysis. A. Is incorrect. Although a date is advisable, it is not required. B. Is incorrect. The law does not require an acknowledgement. C. Is correct. A bill of sale is an instrument which has been executed and delivered to convey title to personal property. D. Is incorrect. Verification means to confirm the correctness of an instrument by an affidavit or oath. Verification may be desirable, but not required. Further clarifications on broker examination content. The law requires that broker license applicants demonstrate in a written examination appropriate knowledge of the English language, including reading, writing, and spelling, and of arithmetical computations common to real estate and business opportunity practices, an understanding of the principles of real estate, and business opportunity conveyancing, the general purposes and general legal effect of agency contracts, deposit receipts, deeds, deeds of trust, chattel mortgages, bills of sale, mortgages, land contracts of sale and leases, and of the principles of business, land economics and appraisals. A general and fair understanding of the obligations between principal and agent, the principles of real estate and business opportunity transactions, and the code of business ethics pertaining thereto, as well as of the provisions of the law relating to real estate as administered by the Real Estate Commissioner. When changes in the law occur or changes in the practice of real estate take place, new subject matter is added to one or more of the major categories. Thus, the categories are revised and brought up to date on a regular basis. There is no assurance that a specific test will cover all subject areas listed, because the test merely samples the broad field of real estate. The following lists of examination topics are for informational purposes and should not be considered totally comprehensive. Transfer of property. Note: to pass the broker examination and become eligible for a license, examinees must correctly answer at least 75% of the questions on the test. Property ownership and land use controls and regulations. Approximately 15% of exam. Property characteristics, descriptions of property, public controls, private controls, laws of agency and fiduciary duties. Approximately 17% of exam. Law, definition and nature of agency relationships, types of agencies and agents, creation of agency and agency agreements, disclosure of agency, termination of agency, responsibilities of agent to non-client third parties, property valuation and financial analysis. Approximately 14% of exam. Financial analysis, financing. Approximately 9% of exam. Types of loans, mortgages, deeds of trust, notes, types of loan originators, transfer of property, approximately 8% of exam, special processes, transfer through court supervision, types of vesting, practice of real estate, and mandated disclosures, approximately 25% of exam. Fair housing laws, agency supervision, DRE jurisdiction and disciplinary actions, licensing, and continuing education requirements and procedures, technology, commercial, industrial, income properties, natural hazard disclosure statements, disclosure of material facts affecting property value, servicing diverse populations, contracts, approximately 12% of exam. Buyer-broker agreements, purchase, lease options, advanced fee, salesperson examination content. The law requires that salesperson license applicants demonstrate in a written examination. Because there are differences in the level and amount of knowledge required of salespersons and brokers, the exams differ in their emphasis and difficulty. Property ownership and land use controls and regulations, laws of agency and fiduciary duties, property valuation and financial analysis, financing, practice of real estate, and disclosures include specialty areas. Contracts. Note: to pass the salesperson examination and become eligible for a license, examinees must correctly answer at least 70% of the questions on the test. Classes of property, encumbrances, types of ownership, government rights in land, environmental hazards and regulations, water rights, special categories of land, responsibilities of agent to seller, buyer as principal, disclosure of acting as principal or other interest, commission and fees, value, methods of estimating value, general concepts, sources of financing, government programs, financing, credit laws, loan brokerage, title insurance, deeds, escrow, tax aspects, practice of real estate, and disclosures include specialty areas. Approximately 25% of exam. Trust account management, truth in advertising, record-keeping requirements, permitted activities of unlicensed sales assistants, California Real Estate Recovery Fund, general ethics, property management, specialty areas, transfer disclosure statement, need for inspection and obtaining, verifying information, reports, general, listing agreements, offers, purchase contracts, agreements, promissory notes, securities.